we welcome you to a special broadcast presentation here on JCTV. Don't adjust your television sets. We've got a great show here for you tonight. It is the Redditors versus Racers. We are racing at Talladega here tonight. I'm Dawson Allen. Joining me here today is Adam Kuhn and Josh Coppernoll. Josh will be joining us a bit later, working on some final things. But right now, it's me and Adam Kuhn in the booth. Adam, welcome.
Evening, Dawson. Excited to be up here in the booth with you. A little different, like you said, from what we're used to on JCTV, but we've been looking forward to this for a long time. And we've been able to see this in the works behind the scenes for a couple months now, and it's so awesome to see it's actually here, Dawson. We're so excited to see this happen tonight.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work, a lot of effort put together by everybody that's part of JCTV as a whole. So before we get going, I do want to shout everybody out. Just a few shout-outs here. Cameron Caldwell especially for everything he's done, as well as Josh Coppernoll for everything he's done, and you, Adam, as well. We've done a lot of work to get ready for this race, and I am so excited for the product that we can provide for you, the fans, here tonight for this special race that's being put on by the r/NASCAR subreddit. So right now, we have about 17 minutes until we get into qualifying. We got a couple groups of cars kind of out and about, running some laps together. So we're going to see if we can get you down to some of them here. There's a pack right there. Right there is number 117. That's Chris Strickland. As he runs right now, you see the rest of the field battling around. There's some names there that we can point out. There is the 11. That is ARCA driver Zachary Tinkle, a member of the r/NASCAR subreddit and driver for Fast Track Racing, just announced. So very cool for him to have a new shot, a new opportunity. Just up ahead, you can see there, that's the 41. That is Dawson Cram. He is a driver from the Xfinity and the ARCA series. He is driving tonight as well, that number 41 machine. Just a couple names to point out, but of course the one up front, the big one, it's Ryan Vargas. He drove the Reddit car back at Talladega in the fall, and he's going to be running it here tonight as well in this race. So very excited to see how this all plays out and to see what everybody can do. We've got a lot more excitement where this comes from. So we can see this field, you know, they just battling, just practicing, getting that work in to get ready for tonight's race.
And then when we caught Vargas here, he was leading the pack. Now he's all the way at the tail with David Shieldhouse back here, and they're going to try and catch up to the pack again by themselves, just a tandem. And I think we're going to see tonight, Dawson, in this race, a little bit of green flag running, but I don't think we're going to get a full run-in to see entirety of pit stop cycles.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit before we really get, we're going to have to see how this plays out, because Talladega races, they're so different in how they run. You never know if you're going to get a race that goes clean to the end and goes green, or if you're going to get a wreck fest. And that's just kind of how this stuff goes. So we'll have to see how it all pans out. But as of right now, we've seen a lot of guys practicing, trying to get warmed up and ready for this race. So as we continue the countdown, just under 15 minutes now, getting closer and closer to the end of this practice session. A lot of guys battling here. You see this pack here. They're going 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. You see the 20 car, I believe, pulling off the apron. But yeah, we're going to see a lot of different strategies here. 96 lap race at Talladega, of course. It's definitely going to be fun to watch and see how these drivers can handle racing against, some fans pretty much. It's going to be a difference, in how they run. It's definitely going to lead to some exciting moments, I think, with how this race is going to run. You see them wrecking back here. Of course, in practice, it doesn't matter too much, but also in the race, they're going to get a faster pair. So they'll be able to have, something at least to lean on. They'll have an insurance policy, so to speak, for this race.
And when drivers take those faster pairs is going to be something we keep probably an eye on all night, especially if it gets down to the nitty-gritty, and some guys have saved a faster pair all night, and they can afford 2 crashes, left at the race.
Yeah, they can afford to, kind of play a little rough early on, but of course you don't want to play too rough too early, or else you find yourself, out of contention, and that's what these guys are wanting to do. They're wanting to compete, and they want to be able to go out and try to win this race. So a lot of guys here, a lot of fun to be had still. So we'll have to see what it is. And I see we've got a friend here, Josh Coppernoll has joined us in the booth here. Josh, welcome.
Hey Dawson, how's it going? Today's finally here. I'm looking forward to this race, guys. This is exciting, and it's just it's probably gonna be one of the most exciting races I have ever called.
Yeah, it will be fun for sure to see how this plays out. It's always a fun race at Talladega, but getting to see it with some of these faces that we have here tonight, that's sure to be fun and bring some excitement. So like I said, about 12 minutes left until it's go time for the race. We see some guys getting that last minute practice in, just trying their best to get everything they can get done. We follow Ryan Vargas, currently scored 19th fastest. The fastest car on track is the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. Then Ethan Troutman, second fastest. Oscar Enriquez, third fastest. Ashton Slice is fourth. Ben Brophy, fifth. So top five all looks like a bunch of the Redditors here. Not a lot of those racers up front. The highest right now, Dawson Cram, currently scored seventh fastest.
That's one thing about Talladega. It evens out the playing field for pretty much everybody. So I am a little bit surprised to see, the first real racer down there in seventh, whereas the Redditors take the top 6 spots, and really, Dawson Cram is the only one inside the top 10.
It's definitely a different sight, I would say. But yeah, I mean, some of these guys, if you've ever watched any JCTV broadcast, there is one name at least that does stand out that you would know, and that's this 56. It's Oscar Enriquez. As you see the wreck happening right up ahead of him there. Everybody piling in, and somehow that JCTV Supra stays clean. But Oscar is a good friend of the broadcast, and he is a very, very talented racer, I will say. And so he's currently third fastest, no shocker there. Always has some speed at these races.
Oscar's avoidance there with that crash definitely looked like a JCTV commercial.
It was a stunt pulled, yeah. But we'll see how it all goes out. Doing this in practice, I guess, can warm you up for the race, but it's all dependent on how things play out here as this race goes on. 10 minutes to go here in practice, and it's all going to come down to it at the end here to see what happens, how these drivers are able to fare in this race. Right now, it looks like a grid is at 41 drivers. And like we said, it's a mix of guys involved in the sport and fans of the sport. A lot of people here, looks like, tuning in to JCTV. We got 32 people here ready to enjoy a show. So it'll be very exciting to see what we can put on for you here tonight. But while we sit and wait, it looks like we have a driver in the wings here. We have somebody here in the wings. Gabe Wood is on standby. We're going to see if we can get a hold of him here. So let's see if we can get Gabe up here really quick. Let's see, right there, and I believe we've got him here. Hey, is this Gabe Wood?
Oh, how about now?
Check 1 2. Can you hear us, Gabe?
Yes. Yeah.
Alrighty, well that's Gabe Wood.
Get
everything set up here, ready to go. Gabe, welcome to the booth. How you feel about tonight's race?
Feeling pretty good. I mean, Vargas, Case, and I, we always, we run these fun races, so we're pretty used to drafting with each other. We're kind of in tune with what we all want to do every race, kind of strategy-wise. So it'll be pretty fun to race with them again, and then just kind of racing a bunch of new people. And I don't know, it'll be interesting because a lot of these guys, the Reddit side of things, have never raced with them before, never seen them before, so it'll be a whole new ball game.
Oh yeah, and coming up this next season, of course, Alpha Prime Racing Looking forward to a very exciting season. What are your thoughts on how this past season went and looking forward to 2023?
Last season with JD, it was an up and down year. I mean, we struggled. I don't even want to say struggle. We just kind of stagnated speed-wise. We were able to stay kind of in the 25th place range. And there were times, Vargas drove his butt off, and we were a top 15 car. A lot of the times early in the season, we were a top 15 car. For the first 5 or 6 races, we just didn't have luck go our way. But the super speedways, I mean, that was just something to hang our hat on. We were able to qualify. We were the only car to qualify in the top 10 every time there was qualifying, every single super speedway race. So that was a really big accomplishment. Or excuse me, the only other car other than RCR, the RCR.
Yeah, they were hard to beat, but you all were able to put some contention in with them and really able to get up there in the front. And like I said, mentioned in 2023, looking forward to it. New team, new places. What's your outlook on that one?
Yeah, I started there 2 weeks ago, and it's honestly breath of fresh air. I'm gonna miss the guys at JD. They were my family the past 3 years, and I've always got somewhere to go back to with them, so that's nice. But going to a new team, it's a new experience. I'm learning a lot more. Kind of what I was doing at JD, I'm doing the same thing in Alpha Prime, but you get set in your ways. Well, I'm learning through a bunch of other new people that have done it longer than I have, and I'm kind of learning a little bit more how to do my job better, rear suspension-wise. That's what I've been doing the past couple of weeks.
Well, alrighty, we'll let you get back into practice here. Best of luck, and we hope to talk to you a little bit later tonight.
All right, thanks, guys.
And that was Gabe Wood. He'll be driving the number 50 machine tonight. And it should be a good one there for sure. Good run there for the Alpha Prime number 50 Chevy Camaro. But that is to be seen. As of right now, he currently sits 13th in practice. Let's see if we can get a hold of anybody else perhaps before this race begins. I'm looking to see if we can get anybody else in the booth. What do you say? Let's see if we can reach out and talk to somebody else here. But as we wait to see who we can get next in the booth here, Josh, I mean, this is big for you. This is JCTV. This is your baby. And getting to have a race like this, what is the feeling like that?
Well, first of all, I have to say I am super excited, but it doesn't just go down because of my doing. This is so many people behind the scenes. You guys, Cameron Caldwell over at C2 Graphics, Andrew for bringing us on, putting this event on with the help of Ryan Vargas and so many others. This channel, it's not been my doing since the beginning. This has literally been the work of so many other people, and it's just the name of Joshua Coppernoll Television. So I have to say, being the man that's behind it, I am very blessed, very fortunate, very excited to have this race happening on JCTV. But yeah, I gotta thank so many people for helping us get to where we are right now. This is absolutely insane. For those of you watching, thank you guys for tuning in so much. Let us know who you're cheering for, whether it's a racer or a Redditor. Definitely excited to see who you're here for. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm ready to get this thing going. We still have a little over 4 minutes and 30 seconds till qualifying starts.
While we're waiting on qualifying, what do you say we talk with somebody else? Let's get a word in. As he disappears from me here. Let's get a word in with a driver that we've seen on JCTV before. A driver who has some success here on JCTV. Let's see if we can bring in Alex Kerfin. Hey, Alex, this is the voice from the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Alrighty, big stakes here tonight, a big race. You're no stranger to it. You've run a lot of races here on JCTV for the In the Pits News Truck Series, but now tonight, getting the tap at the last minute just about to come into this race and run tonight. What are your thoughts heading into this race?
Yeah, pretty excited that I got the call up for this race. It's going to be a pretty fun one. Xfinity car is definitely a lot different than the truck. It's going to be a pretty cool experience. I expect an average amount of wrecks. I'm not too sure. I haven't raced around these guys too much, but there's some very talented guys in the field. It's going to be a great race to watch.
Yep. And who are you? Who are you most excited to be able to race with here in tonight's race, besides maybe Alonso Chicano?
Peeking through the names in there, maybe Mr. Lul Snake. I watch a lot of his YouTube videos. Cool to see him in here.
Alrighty, well, Alex, we'll let you get back with the team. Best of luck. Hope to talk to you later tonight.
All right, thank you.
And like we mentioned, Alex Kerfin, he is well known on JCTV for the Independence News Truck Series. And so we'll look and see how that goes. And I'm very excited to see how he can do tonight as well. Now, if you noticed something, too, I don't know if you have noticed, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. On our ticker on that left side of your screen there, you can see there's different colors. So there's the red, the orangish red, and then there's that blue. And if you're, anybody who uses Reddit, you would know those colors. That red is the upvote, the blue is the downvote. We have our Redditors as that orangish red color, and then we have our drivers as that blue color, that navy blue kind of color. So that is going to be your guide to determine who is driving what. So we'll see how that goes. But you can see there on the top 10, I mean, it's just about all Redditors. The only one who's been faster has been Dawson Cram. He's the only one that's been able to sneak into that top 10. Right now, the next one would have to be Zachary Tinkle, who was scored in the 11th position. As we pan back to chaos there's Dawson Cram in that 41 machine as we were talking. As you see him spinning it down in that big pile up, there's that 32 machine as well down there. That is driven by Luke Strayer. If you saw that machine over there, Luke Strayer with that Grit Network number 32. Looks like he's going to keep it on pit road for the rest of this run. Looking around to see there's Oscar Enriquez out on track. Having a little bit of fun there, heading down towards the gap and resetting the car. Looks like a lot of guys are on pit road here, just kind of waiting for this session to advance. There's Case Collimack and Ryan Vargas running right there on the apron with just about a minute to go. So, I ask you, Josh, Adam, who's your pick to win tonight?
I guess we won't go out all at once. I don't know. It's so hard to pick. I'll go with one of the pros. I'll go with someone we really haven't seen a lot recently in NASCAR. I'll say Robbie Lyons. He's a very avid sim racer, and he's got a lot of laps in the sim. So I'll pick the, I believe he's in the 15.
The 15 machine there. He is on track right now. There's Adam's pick to win it. That's Robbie Lyons driving the 15 tonight. Josh, who's your pick?
I'm going to go with a racer as well. I'm going to go with Garrett Smithley. I think Smithley, he's going to get it done tonight.
You see Garrett Smithley on pit road there, the number 78 machine. He is driving, but you all are going, for drivers, actual guys who do this for a living. I'm going out on a limb here. I'm going out with somebody who is not a driver per se, more so just a race fan. Probably, but I'm going to go with the 17 of Nathan Chiani, driving that 17 machine in honor of Matt Kenseth. It's been 10 years since he won at Talladega in that fall race, that hectic, chaotic finish in that pink Ford EcoBoost scheme. I say that 17 machine gets it done tonight and wins. And there you see him on pit road there, getting ready to leave as we have qualifying underway. 5 minutes for the drivers to hit the track and set the fastest lap they can. So we'll see how this pans out. Right now, we're going to follow along with the 17 of Nathan Chiani as he starts his way around the track. He'll be the first driver, looks like, that got out on track to be qualifying. Got some fans in the chat cheering on the number 39 machine, looking to see the name there. That is Ryan Wayne. So some Ryan Wayne fans out there in the fan zone on JCTV. So some excitement there, but right now we're following the 17 Nathan Chiani. He was the first car out on track. He will be the first to try and set a qualifying lap. You see him running that very top lane. You want to run as high as you can that first lap and then swing back down to the bottom on lap 2 to try to get as much momentum as you can. So we'll see how he fares here as you see him running that top all the way up there. And like we mentioned, that pink Matt Kenseth scheme. If you know Nathan Chiani, you know he shares a birthday with Greg Biffle. He is also a Kenseth fan, 17_20 on Twitter. Always a great follow. So we see that 17 here continuing on down the back straightaway for his first qualifying lap.
And of course, this paint scheme throwback to such a great win that Kenseth got here at Talladega 10 years ago. Crazy to believe that race was over 10 years ago now, but Kenseth really one of 4 or 5 cars to get through a huge pile up on the last lap.
Yeah, but he's hoping to do the same here tonight, so he'll be the first to complete a lap at the speed that time. So right now he sits first fastest, now second fastest, Luke Strayer. And now you see the rest of the field starting to set their lap times. A 54.555 puts Gabe Wood on the pole as of right now. But, of course, it's going to keep shaking up until they get that second lap in. Corey Gray sits fastest after his first lap. Chris Strickland is second. Zachary Tinkle third. Now there goes Peter DeBorgia to the top spot here. It's just going to keep shaking up as this race goes on, as these laps go on. And you see them they keep ping-ponging around. Everybody's dropping around. 5 seconds ago, Gabe Wood was the pole sitter. Now he sits 5th fastest. And that's the way it is. That's the nature of the beast of these qualifying runs at Talladega. You know, you have a great lap. You could think it's great, and then you look up the speed charts and you're 17th.
Yep. Trying to qualify at these tracks is so hard because you have to be so smooth with your runs and trying not to drift up too much in a corner. You want to be as low as you possibly can. Your first lap, of course, very important how you do that. Qualifying at these tracks, they're really tough.
You can just see it's just a constant state of bouncing around to see who can get what lap. Right now it's a 1/10 of a second, 100th of a second, excuse me. And then it changes again there. It's Aaron Schleiss over top of Peter DeBorgia for the pole. David Schildhouse is third. Gary Sexton is fourth. Luke Strayer is fifth. As we see Kerfin coming to complete his second lap. This time it'll be a 54.095. That's good for 7th fastest. Looking to see anybody else that may be getting ready to start their first laps. I see that 39 of Ryan Wayne is currently out making his first lap up to speed, it looks like. And where are our Ryan Wayne fans here? Out in the chat, saw him out there. Let's see if they can get their driver a victory here tonight, cheering him on as of right now. He is out there to set his first timed lap. Let's see what he can put up. See some more about Ryan Wayne. He's a 25-year-old technology assistant for a school district. It's cool to see some of these guys and what they do for a living outside of the sim. Of course, some of them we know they work on race cars for a living, but some of them don't. And it's cool to see them get out there and get their shot in these races. And as of right now, Wayne sits 29th fastest. Of course, that was only his first lap. He's still got one more to go. Looking to see right now, Schleiss still the top of the board. Peter DeBorgia second, Schildhouse third, Sexton fourth, and Strayer fifth. But it looks like that's going to do it for qualifying. No time left on the boards. So that will do it, and that will set our grid. So as we get ready to watch the field climb into their cars and get ready to go, let's take a look and see how the field stacks up with your starting grid here, presented by JCTV. On the point, Ashton Schleiss and Peter DeBorgia make up row 1. Then it's David Schildhouse and Gary Saxton in row 2. Luke Strayer, Gabe Wood making up that third row. Then it's Alex Kerfin and John Garrett making up row 4. And rounding out your top 10, it's James O'Brien and Jeffrey Armistead, a late entry here into tonight's race.
Starting in row 6, going to be Alonso Chicano. To his outside, Oscar Enriquez. Robbie Lyons and Brandon Walter starting 13th, 14th. 15th is going to be Luel and Saka. I'm going to butcher that name. And Ryan Vargas to his outside. Randall Sherritt will start on the inside of row 9 with Corey Gray to his outside. Ethan Troutman and Alexander White will make up the top 20.
Starting in 21st is going to be Strickland, and then outside of him is going to be the 33 of Ben Brophy. 55 of Dean Thompson is going to start in row 12 alongside another racer of Chris Hacker. Nathan Chiani is going to start in row 13 with the 37 of Andrew Sanford. And JB Fortin is going to start on row 14 next to the 70 car of, that is a late entry, I believe, Warren. And running out the top 30 spots is going to be the 21 of Michael Edwards and the 39 of Ryan Wayne.
And for the rest of your field, in 31st is Zachary Tinkle. Outside of him is going to be Garrett Smithley. Then it's Connor Harrington and James Bickford. Then making up that 18th row, it's going to be Andrew Palesci, and Christopher Tate. Stephen Mazzoli, Dawson Cram. Then it's Brian Smith, Blake Lothian. And then rounding out your field, it's going to be Braden Lester and Case Collenbach. That is your field. And before we get green, of course, they're already rolling, but let's get you your command here for tonight's race. Please welcome Moonhead.
Hello, Reddit world, and NASCAR world, and NASCAR on Reddit world. You're about to witness a great race. Drivers, start your engines. Hello, world, hello, Reddit world, and NASCAR world.
And that was Moonhead giving the command start the engines. Of course, ready to get racing here. We've got 96 laps, 42 cars. Some of them do this for a living, others are doing it for fun, but everybody's here for a good time tonight. So we'll have to see how this shakes up. As of right now, our picks to win it for tonight, Robbie Lyons was 13th. That was Adam's pick. My pick, Nathan Chiani, was 25th. And Garrett Smithley, the pick of Josh Coppernoll, sits 32nd here on the grid. And, of course, we'd be remiss if we did not remind you that the start-finish line is not in the tri-oval. It is, in fact, just a little further down towards the turn 1. So definitely a lot of room to make that move, that final pass you may need to make for the win here. And we might see that come into play tonight with that start-finish line being a little further back to see how that shakes up. So the field heads through 3 and 4 behind the pace car. It's been a great effort to get this field together, to get everybody here, and we're ready to put on a show for you watching at home. Pace car takes that hard left turn, diving down pit road. Ashton Schleiss, Peter DeBorgia make up row 1. They're going to head down towards the Geico restart zone. You'll see it coming up down here on the bottom of your screen, and when they hit this mark, they're going to get the green flag. We are racing for 96 laps here at Talladega. You can see back in the back some cars bailing out to head to the rear of the field. Don't want to mix it up too early on. They want to have a car ready for the end of this race. But right now it's still Ashton Schleiss leading the field with David Schildhouse on his back bumper.
Some guys electing to get down to the bottom lane. Others, they want to try to stay on that outside lane and get that going, get up to the front. They don't want to mess around.
On board with the 95 of Alex Kerfin as we watch him in the middle of this pack. You can see the field fanned out a little bit more out back. as they continue to rock. But right now, that 68, he has taken an early lead, and he is going to try to hold on to it for now. Right now, 1, 2, and maybe 3 are going to be clear out front of this outside line.
Oh, trouble in the back. The 5 car, I believe, is spinning. That is not Alonso Chicano. Actually, another driver. We have a caution, though. It happened mid-pack. I want to say it was 62, possibly.
I see the 62, Ethan Troutman. All sorts of front-end damage already here to start this race. Not good for those guys that were laying back in the back to already have a chance at being involved in an accident. But let's see if we can take a look back and see what just happened.
Steve Thompson in the 55.
You can see up ahead here, right there, yeah, the 5. It looks like the 5. I believe that is the 55. Dean Thompson gets spun in front of the field. The 27, the 62, and the 117 involved in that accident. That's Ethan Troutman. I believe that was Chris Strickland as well involved. So a couple cars taken out of commission already here. Gonna have to either get a lot of damage repaired or rely on that fast repair just 3 laps into this race.
And you mentioned those guys were just hanging out there, just trying to be calm for the start, just ride around, log some laps, and you mentioned now they're in trouble, and that is the unpredictability of restrictor plate racing. There is no safe place to be. You're gonna get wrecked up front or in the back. You just never know here.
Yeah, nowhere is safe, you know, at all when you watch these when you're racing these races. You know, you really cannot bank on anything being a guarantee to miss a wreck. So as across the stripe to complete lap 3, start lap 4. Ashton Schleiss leading the field here. David Schildhouse is up to 2nd. Peter DeBorgia dropped back to 3rd on that start. It's pretty much just been kind of even Steven with a lot of these guys staying or going, as you see some cars coming down pit road, of course. A lot of guys coming down, actually. Everybody behind, I think the 04 of JB Fortin comes down pit road. There is that 117 of Chris Strickland. He is rolling off here after that damage. Looks like he took his fast repair. I see Garrett Smithley was on pit road as well. Nathan Kiani, Ryan Wayne, Dawson Cram, Zachary Tinkle, Andrew Paleshi, Andrew Sanford, Blake Lothian, Brian Smith, Dean Thompson. You know, a lot of guys pulled it down pit road there, whether they were getting damage repaired or maybe even getting a splash of fuel to try to make it a little bit longer as this race goes on.
I think some guys at pit there probably just wanted to get to the back. It's the easiest way to get to the back. But when you have a lot of drivers pitting, it does make it hard to try to get to the back if that is your goal. But a lot of drivers also staying out.
And looking at the pit stop time, some of these guys elected not to use their fast repair and to try to get their damage repaired. Just in general, I see Christopher Tate, 58-second stop, made sure he got as much damage repaired as he could in that time frame. A couple guys here with some minute-long stops just to get some damage repaired. I see Chris Hacker back there as well, Davis Warren in the 70 machine as well, all elected to get a lot longer stops in to get that damage fixed if they had any. There's the 27. That is Randall Sherritt. He was involved in that accident. I see he's looking to get that damage repaired without using the fast repair if he could. But that car, see there in the rear end, it's just a crumpled mess right now. So we'll get you back up to the front here because I believe we're coming up on the 1 to green this next time by. And the thing you'll see in this race is the choose cone. Normally, NASCAR does not use this in Super Speedway races, but for this race, we're using the choose cone at the start-finish line. So you go high or you go low, and that determines what lane you'll start in. So we'll see the rest of the field coming through here, I believe this time by, electing where to go. So you'll see, yep, they're going high or they're going low. So the 68 of Ashton Schleiss chooses the bottom. David Schildhouse going up top. It looks like it might just be a fan out back in the back as they go. Alonso Chicano through the rest of the field here as they elect what lane they're going to go down. And it adds a bit of strategy. You know, it adds a bit of, you know, making the right decision on where you want to go for these drivers. You know, having to choose Kona at a super speedway, because you can choose, you know, do I want to go up top? Do I want to go down low? And it really, you know, can throw strategy on its head there if you want to try to get together with a teammate or get together with somebody you want to work with. It can really shake up the field. And, you know, we see there, it looks like a lot of guys have chosen, you know, different lanes. I see Jeffrey Armstead technically lost 2 spots there, choosing the bottom. Vargas has now been promoted into the top 10 as they run right now.
As I talked to Ethan Troutman, he said he was just on the bottom trying to log some laps. Someone was turned in the outside lane right in front of him. He's going to try a fast repair. It'll take a couple minutes, but he's going to try and get on track and see how the car feels.
We'll see how that works. We saw the choose. Schleiss to the bottom, Schildhaus to the top. They worked together pretty well there on that initial start. We'll see if they might team up together again here when they go green. As that 40 of Peter de Borgia dropped back a spot throughout that exchange. So as the pace car dives off, remember the Geico restart zone is in effect. So they have all this time where they're not behind the pace car. They have to wait till they get to the restart zone up there through the tri-oval before they can really launch. So we'll have to see how this works out, if they cause any stack-ups here behind the leaders as they come through the tri-oval. We're going to go green on lap number 6. As they hit the restart zone, the green flag is back out. We're back racing here at Talladega.
Very even start there. In the outside lane. Just not able to get together very well.
Yeah, neither lane was able to get back-to-back, nose-to-tail with the car behind him, but we'll see de Borgia try to push Schleiss to the lead here on that inside line. That third-place car, I believe it's the 13 of Gary Sexton, really wasn't able to get up there. You see they're 3 wide up top. I believe that's Gabe Wood and Ryan Vargas trying to work together, maybe going to the front if they can, but I see they're dropping back a little bit, not able to make it work just yet. They have that 24 behind them. I believe that is Alexander White. As we see the field go back to 2x2, it's still a battle for the lead between Schleiss and Schildhaus side by side, heading through the tri-oval.
Even side by side this entire restart, excuse me, Josh, but they have been almost like a 2-car tango up front with Strayer and de Borgia right on the tails. Now they get separated here on the front straightaway.
That outside lane pulling.
Yeah, that third lane is coming quick with Wood and Vargas. We're about to have 3 wide up here for the lead pretty soon.
They are doing a phenomenal job working the outside lane. Here they come. They're going to be even with Schildhaus and Schleiss for the race lead.
Just not quite there on the outside for the lead just yet.
Right there on the quarter panel. They're trying to make it work. You see they fan back out, run as high as they can, but they are working together pretty good right now. They're getting that close to the front here, trying to make a run to the outside stick. That 32, a little bobble out of Luke Strayer in that middle lane. That might stack him up just a little bit, and that allows that outside lad to get a run. Gabe Wood has taken the race lead for now, but it's still side-by-side action with Ashton Schleiss going for it here on lap number 8.
These guys are racing like it's the last lap. They're still almost, well, 89 laps to go here. Look at Wood dropping all the way down to the bottom. Now Wood controlling the lines. Great job out of Wood. What's he going to do now? The bottom lane is where the momentum is at the moment. He stays down on the bottom. But here comes the very top lane. Ryan Vargas, huge push from White.
Vargas with a huge shove to the outside lane by Alexander White. Now going to try to go for the race lead himself. Wood gets a little out of sorts. He makes contact with the 20 Shieldhouse. He's going to dive down to the apron. He's going to keep it straight. He's going to make sure to stay on the brakes, stay out of harm's way, and pull back on the track when it's safe. Meanwhile, up front, it's still 3 wide for the lead. Here comes Luke Strayer in the middle. How did they not wreck there?
That was impressive by everyone when Gabe Wood got knocked out of line straight to the bottom of the track. He was in a very vulnerable position the last 3 or 4 laps, right being in the second car in the middle lane, getting bounced around by the air from every direction. Now he's in the lead. He's got the best air of them all, and he's going to try and do a great job with David Shieldhouse right on his tail.
And a huge push from the 20 Shieldhouse to the back of Strayer. Strayer goes high. He's going to be split down the middle. 3 wide for the lead once again.
Yes, Strayer went to go block Alex Kerfin, but Kerfin had none of that. Now he's getting pushed by Ryan Vargas up top.
Kerfin went to the top. That lets Strayer go back to the middle, but right now the top 2, Shieldhouse and Schleiss, just about clearing here for the race lead.
Huge run down the back straightaway out of Strayer.
Still side by side though for the lead. Strayer trying to make it work in the middle lane. Kerfin and Vargas to the outside lane. If they can make it stick, they'd be able to get back up there with it, but they're not doing too much of a good job. They're dropping back just a little bit at a time. They've only got 3 cars in that outside lane. They're going to get overpowered here soon, and that's really what we're seeing happen. As you see, now they're falling back to 3rd in line. That is the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. But now the run on the front straightaway, you see they got it going again. The momentum they carry, able to put them close to the lead yet again. Ooh!
That was very close. Did a great job there not wrecking. But look at that outside lane with huge momentum. Kerfan to the race lead. Ryan Vargas hanging on to the outside of that 95. Alex Kerfan.
Now it's 2 by 2 to the front. Side by side, battling for the lead. You saw a car on pit road there, trying to see who that was. I believe that's the 04 of JB Fortin on pit road. There's the 27, of course, pulling off pit road as well. He was damaged in that earlier wreck. It's Kerfin dropping back to second now, battling for that second position, battling for the race lead, I should say, with Ryan Vargas. But that inside line, able to get formed up as well. That outside, middle lane, I should say, is really working right now. Outside lane starting to form back up. Here comes the Alonso Chicano machine, that number 5, going to try to lead this outside lane.
He's making it work right now. Only 3 cars out there. And, you know, I have to say this. I don't think there's a broadcast that goes by that's at a plate race where Chicano was in it that I don't mention this. We got a lot of new viewers. So, Alonso Chicano, he really reminds me of a Joey Logano at restrictor plate races. This man, he drives super aggressive, always likes to be up front in this situation. So watch for Chicano all night long. As long as his car is clean, Chicano, he's going to be trying his hardest to get up front. And it just seriously, his moves really remind me of what Joey Logano does watching these races.
That stat there, the fun fact about Alonso Chicano, the flagship program here on JCTV, the Independent Truck Series. He is the defending series champion right now, mixing it up with Vargas and, of course, his competition in that league, Alexander Kerfin. So a good showing so far with the 2 of them up front as they continue to battle. 3 wide for the race lead. To the outside is Chicano trying to make it work around Vargas and Kerfin. Still, though, 3 by 3 by 3 by 3 battling for these positions. You know,
I'm really surprised with the very small outside lane that they're just able to hold on to that very high lane like that.
it feels like they're able to hold on for a few laps, and then after that they drop. You see, oh, DeBorgia tried to go high. Chicana was there. That allowed the 24. That is Alexander White to the outside lane. He's going to try to lead it to the front.
The outside lane was losing a lot of momentum before that had happened too, and that was the nail in the coffin for Chicano leading that lane, and White took the advantage as soon as he saw the opening, and now he's going to try and lead that 5 car and the rest of these guys up on that top. It's back to Vargas and this lead if he can. They got momentum steaming down the back straightaway, but so does Vargas with a huge push from behind him.
Look who is up here. How about Dean Thompson? He was wrecked earlier in this race, but now he finds himself in the 8th position, been able to fight his way back to the field. Of course, he wrecked it earlier. Now he's trying to battle for positions here, mixing it up in the top 10.
Actually, a little bit surprised to see him up here because his pit stop looked like it was very quick. So I imagine he took his fast repair. With it being super early in this race, I would be a little skeptical of running up front if I were him, but he's up here. He's making it work, and so far, sitting in a pretty good position.
They're mixing it up like crazy. As you see up ahead, there's a lapper. I believe that is the 62 of Ethan Troutman. Looks like he's going to try to pull it high to allow the leaders by, but it ain't going to work too well when they're 3 wide battling. He'll pull off to the apron, let the leaders go. They stay 3 wide, storming into turn 3.
That was a very close call, but a great decision out of Ethan Troutman there. Get out of the way.
So as they continue to battle 3 by 3, that's Alexander White leading the field. They're going to be 4 wide now. 4 wide heading into turn 1. Ooh, Vargas made contact with Harrington, stacking up the field. There they go. They're wrecking back further back here. Or are they? How on earth do they keep it straight?
That was great driving there to not go around.
They should have been wrecked there. They should not have been able to continue, but instead they are able to continue. We're going to see if we can get a look back at this one here. Heading into turn 1, they were 4 wide up ahead. Vargas makes contact with Harrington. You see the 03 and the 13, both sideways here in the corner, but somehow they hang on. Unbelievable. Sexton drops back to 13th, Enriquez behind him, but meanwhile up front, they're still side by side battling for the lead.
Yeah, Bickford came up, took the lead away. An inside lane led by a Curfan. Falling back, Bickford's going to jump down to the inside to lead the inside line. And that leaves Harrington leading the outside. Currently only 2 lanes.
Yeah, James Bickford, you mentioned to the lead, that he had a huge push from Harrington, Connor Harrington in that 44. He started to drop back, like you just mentioned, Josh, but here comes the 3. It's going to be James O'Brien pushing that 44 car back up to the lead. They're going to be side by side again. And Dean Thompson floating for that 3rd lane back there, 4th car in line on the top. Well, we just mentioned he took that fast repair. Or we presume he took that fast repair on that caution. He got a little bit of contact with all that chaos into a couple laps ago. He's pushing the 40. They're 3 wide for the lead again.
They just will not stop. It's only about 20 laps in, and yet again, they are going 3 wide, gonna battle it out here for the race lead if they can. Bickford leading, though. It's Curfin in 2nd, Harrington 3rd, Schildhaus 4th, and then it's O'Brien battling with him for the top 5. It's about a 12-car breakaway here. This lead pack is. We've got about a 2-second gap over 13th place. Gary Sexton and Oscar Enriquez. But they are still duking it out like crazy. So definitely still fighting like the race is on the line now. Leaders head into turn 3. Continuing to battle. still side by side, doing everything they can to try and fight for this race lead. Just 21 laps into this event, James Bickford leading the field, but don't go anywhere. We're going to take you to a quick ad break where we will have JCTV side by side. You won't miss a thing.
Everyone knows that old NASCAR legend about how drivers, you know, go during a race. So naturally, we were curious.
Kevin, no bathroom break?
Nope, all set.
Hey, Kevin.
What's going on? Excuse me. I mean, those fire suits are made of high-tech fabric.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Looking at the rain.
Uh-huh.
You guys go on, I'll catch up.
Dad, where'd you get that?
Oh, you won't believe what just happened.
Don't tell me you got the last Diet Dew.
Yeah.
I love the taste of Diet Dew. What do you want for it? Deal.
Diet Mountain Dew. Yeah, it tastes that good.
Hey, hotshot. Meter's running.
Hey, man. You cut me off back there. What you gonna do about it? Oh, man.
Can you feel it? The taste of Coca-Cola. Well, the race
All right, fine. Are we good? We're good.
A broken heart, I can't help you. Rocket science, don't know what to tell you. I may not know how to get to the moon, but when I wanna fly, my crew knows what to do. Crank around the wheel in the left rear. You're only turning 9,000, need another gear. Never know how.
Kyle Busch, welcome to Menards. What can I help you with today?
Well, I've got my shopping list right here. I need some green treated lumber. I need a brown Mastercraft door. I need red Clearview cabinets and some blue Dutch Boy paint.
Those are M&Ms.
And?
At Menards, we carry the world's best selection of home improvement products to help you complete your next project.
You've got more of these, right?
It's all gonna fit in your car?
I got a trunk.
Save big money at Menards.
You saw it all in nonstop. The battle continuing for the lead, but not to mention, look out back. The field is catching. We are only 24 laps into this race, but some of these drivers are racing like it's the last lap still as the battle rages on. Here in the Redditors versus Racers Talladega race presented by Reddit, as you see here, still battling strong here is that 29 as he drops a little bit further back here. He's third in line. I see Vargas there on the outside line having a bit of issues. They are continuing to fight, but something else I noticed, you know, we pointed it out in the break. Gary Sexton and Oscar Riquez caught back up to the field, but not to mention that second pack has completely caught up as well. There's Garrett Smithley now in the picture. Chris Strickland, Brian Smith. These are guys we weren't talking about really too much because they were a little bit further back, but now you see Brian Smith. He is now scored in the 16th position. He's been riding out back all race, and now he's starting to make his climb to the front in that number 52 JCTV Supra.
Dean Thompson once again trying to make that outside lane work. He's going to lose a few positions and have to find his way back in. He's going to get to the middle lane now. Thompson, he's really been trying to get up to the front. He keeps trying anything.
He is not afraid to go to that outside lane and try to make a third lane work. He has been driving aggressive this whole race, keeping his foot on the gas and keeping it up to 110% to see if he can make his way through the field. But right now, he's kind of stalling out by himself in that outside lane. He's really not making enough progress to really matter.
Yeah, just struggling to find the speed on the outside lane all by himself, which no surprise there with this track being such a draft-dependent track. But he keeps trying to make the move on Alexander White. Looks like Chicano moves to the outside lane. Dean Thompson will have somebody out there, but is that by design from Chicano? Is he going to push?
It's the coalition. It's the coalition of fives. Thompson and Chicano going to try the outside lane to make it work. But there you see Thompson diving back in line, leaving Chicano high and dry all by himself on the outside lane.
Chicano's going to pull back into line, but losing a few positions. Oh man, big block from DeBorgia on O'Brien. O'Brien's going to get a little squirrely.
Ryan and DeBorgia both got a little squirry, had to catch it there. You see Vargas now leading the outside line. If he can make this run with help from Alexander White, they're both trying to push through that middle lane to get up to the front. Connor Harrington third now in the inside lane. He is battling for the fourth position. And there you see Thompson on the back bumper of the 24. That puts that outside line all tied up together. That's going to help them build some momentum and head down to the front. Now Ryan Vargas will clear and will take the race lead here at Talladega.
That outside lane once again building up the momentum. They're about to be beside Ryan Vargas. Huge push. Oh!
Ooh, through the
O'Brien
grass!
machine.
And
he saves it.
What a save by that number 3 of James O'Brien. Somehow avoiding disaster once again in this race, but that's going to cost him big time, dropping all the way back now to the 19th, maybe even the 20th position. So from what was a top 5 now to flirting with outside the top 20. Not what he wanted to have happen there, but he was able to recover it and keep his race alive as we approach lap 30 here.
Whatever happened to James O'Brien there off the triover happened off of turn 2 last lap, and that really allowed Ryan Vargas to get to the lead over DeBorgia, and the momentum DeBorgia had lost because that was so significant. It's a huge move there from that 40. Peter DeBorgia is not content riding around in second. He wants the lead.
And he wants to get out front and lead some laps. He's been looking forward to this race here. That number 40, Peter DeBorgia, I spoke with him before this race. He is a 37-year-old middle school math teacher, and he's a huge Chip Ganassi racing fan. That number 40 car, as you see, contact spinning! Vargas sliding to the infield. He's going to save it somehow. He gets it straightened back out. We stay green.
Looked like a contact off the front bumper of Connor Harrington in the 44, but they were just all stacked up there off of turn 2 again.
It very well could have been that 44 trying to get a push. No, in fact, Alexander White contact from the outside lane. But he slides it down to the apron, able to get it back recovered and keep it going. But now that scores that number 23 machine all the way back in 31st. Way out back right now, but I think he'll be content riding there until this race is over.
Yeah, you mentioned was not Harrington who made contact. In fact, Connor did a great job not making it more of an issue and spinning the 23 into the pack.
Meanwhile, up front, new race leaders, Dean Thompson, Alonso Chicano now the top 2.
Thompson had taken the lead for a moment, then Chicano was able to get up there and take the lead. Here comes the 13 of Sexton, Gary Sexton, with help from Harrington. Look at Dean Thompson moving to the outside. Chicano trying to block. Thompson goes even higher. Now Thompson's going to be shuffled out of line.
Accidentally leaves Sexton out of line. Technically, Harrington went to the middle lane at first, went high, back to the middle. Now Kerfin's going to help Thompson. Meanwhile, White's pushing Chicano. Harrington shoving Sexton to the race lead.
Signs of decisive driving there. It's going to leave Alex Kerfin behind Dean Thompson. No, he changes his mind there. Goes back into the middle line behind Harrington.
Can't decide bottom or top or middle. They're trying to find which lane they want to run. Harrington still shoving the back of that 13 of Gary Sexton down the back straightaway. Thompson trying to get some help in the outside lane. You see Sexton spinning! Around they go! It's the big one here at Talladega. Almost maybe. Yes, it's going to be. Spinning on the apron, wrecking behind.
Oh, Vargas got caught up in it.
Chris Hacker's in it. And it all started with a push in the corner there on the back of the 13 that'll lead us to our second caution of the race. Gonna try to get you back and see what happened here. It's 13. Gary Sexton leading the outside lane there. Looks like maybe a bad shot here in the corner. Oh yeah, hit by the 44, and you see the 29 gets involved. Looked like Kerfin hit the wall to miss it all, and then after that they just stack up behind. Vargas just nowhere to go there, and then some more guys getting some damage. There's that 81 getting some damage of Andrew Pledeschi. Just a lot of guys involved in that wreck there. Just nowhere to go. An upward view from Ryan Vargas here. A bit further back from the action, but still got swept up into it. See him spinning up ahead. And just right here, nowhere for the 23 to go.
And the incident that put Vargas back there in the first place was he came on the radio and said that he felt someone on his right side door and then someone was on his left rear corner as well. And he said basically it was inevitable in from there.
Yeah, indeed, he just had no chance to do it, but that's what we saw happen. And I don't think we quite introduced you here, Gage, pit reporter here tonight. What do you got on pit road right now? What's the action like?
Well, I don't have anything now, but after they come off pit road, I'm sure I'll have some content for you guys.
Alrighty, well, we didn't properly introduce him. Gage is our race reporter here on pit road, keeping track of everything for us that's going on down there in the driver chats and everything. But I noticed there a free pass going around. I believe that was the 17 of Nathan Kiani getting the free pass here. You see, we mentioned it, at the top of the broadcast.
Well, Dawson, I have something, and I'm not sure if Gage can follow up more information on this or not. I know he's not in here listening to me right now, but somebody was accidentally, I'm guessing, removed from the server, and that would have been Dean Thompson.
Oh!
And I believe it was totally a mistake. I'm wondering, and this is just a complete guess, I'm wondering if one of the admins was trying to throw an admin caution and instead removed a driver from the server, because then that admin had his admin privileges revoked. I'm not really sure if that was the case or not, because I didn't see where Dean Thompson did anything wrong in that yellow or during that incident that occurred.
Yeah, very well could have been an errant penalty that didn't mean to happen, but wound up happening instead. But Dean Thompson accidentally booted from the server. Man, I would hate to be the guy that did that one there. So we'll have to see what happened. We'll have to see if we can get a word in maybe about what happened. Looking to see. Apparently, there was an issue after the caution that led to Dean Thompson being booted. So we're going to see if we can go back to this caution and maybe see what happened here before we go green. So we're going to get you back through the wreck. That's Chris Hacker we're following, but we want to go to the 55 of Dean Thompson and see what happened here. That's after the wreck. The caution has happened. I don't know what to think of that. interesting, but nonetheless, we get ready to go back green. I see, looks like that 44 decided to come back down pit road, get a splash of fuel, and get back out on there. But definitely interesting to see what had happened there with that 55 of Dean Thompson. He was removed from the session. I would be shocked if he comes back. But definitely an interesting turn of events here to happen tonight. So we'll re-rack them and restack them here coming to green on lap 36. We'll have about 61 laps to go. When we go green, that's going to open the door for maybe about one pit stop if we can get it in here. So there's a possibility of green flag stop still out there, but the likelihood of that, the way this has gone, I'm not too sure if I'd bank on that one.
Guys, and watch out for some drivers came in to top off fuel. Notably, Zachary Tinkle kind of led that group down, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out for them when it comes to fuel.
All right, thank you, Gage, for that update on pit road. Drivers going down to get that splash fuel to see if they can make it a little bit longer than the others. But you see up front now, Alex Kerfin, Robbie Lyons, Alonso Chicano, Alex White, and Brandon Walter. That is your top 5. And you see there, Kerfin and Chicano right there, nose to tail. They're no strangers to one another. They're teammates in the Bits News Truck Series, so they are going to work together for sure as we follow the field through the tri-oval, getting ready to go green once again. So as they come through the tri-oval into the Geico restart zone, they're going to get on the gas together, and the green flag is back out. We're back underway here at Talladega.
Not a very even start this time around. Bottom lane. At least the first two on the bottom lane, Kerfan and Chicano, they got the best restart. Are they going to be sitting duck? Here comes Lyons making a move to the outside of Chicano.
Robbie Lyons working with Alexander White to the outside lane there. There's Peter DeBorgia, and I believe that is the 78 of Garrett Smithley there on the outside lane. Fourth in line, going to work his way to the front, now up to 6th. He's been out back for a majority of this race, but he's now starting to make his move up to the front here, as you see there. I mean, he was all the way back in 32nd where he started at the start of this race, and he has moved his way through the field, cracked into the top 10, maybe even going to try to go for the lead here soon. But you see Robbie Lyons going to pull down to the bottom. He'll get to the inside line, and he'll lead this time by, but here comes Alex White to the outside.
Excuse me, the outside lane's going to be in real trouble now. Smithley jumped to the bottom, got rid of a lot of momentum. Now Oscar Enriquez is going to be the third car in line. A lot of gap in between he and White, though. Or, excuse me, DeBorgia, though. Huge gap between them down back straightaway, while Kerfin is pushing Lyons down the super stretch.
See the third line starting to form. Look who's back up in it already. That's James O'Brien, the outside lane, trying to lead the charge there. Back behind him, that's the 29, I believe. That being the 29 of Corey Gray. Then there's the 44, of course, of Harrington. Back there trying to make that outside lane work, but right now it's a battle between White and Lyons with a shove from DeBorgia. Here comes Alex White back to the front.
They're even up front. Garrett Smithley dropping to the back. That's going to not help the inside lane.
I see a
third lane.
Third lane forming. They're all scattering about now, but here comes that outside lane led by David Schildhouse. He is trying to lead the charge. Now he's going to be on the back bumper of Oscar Enriquez, who moves to the top. Now the field's starting to kind of shift back and forth from what lane they want to run. I see a name up here. I see a driver up here. Ryan Wayne has found his way into the top 10, maybe even the top 5 here. So a lot of people cheering him on, fan support here on the broadcast, and right now running that top 10, running 6th as we see right now, pulling to the outside line, going to lead the charge with Enriquez pushing him if they can, trying to work to the front, but right now it's still a 2-horse race between White and Lyons.
quickly as that outside lane got formed up, it really just went away. Only those two drivers, Wayne and Enriquez out there. They're trying. Enriquez trying so hard to push Wayne right up there. Oh,
Ooh.
contact from the 40.
A wiggle from DeBorgia might stack up that second lane. Saw the 29. Corey Gray back off a little bit. Give some space. Let him recover. And just like that, that outside lane is right back to it. They're side by side, 3 by 3 right there. From 3rd through about maybe 9th, I'd say. They're all battling for any position they can get.
They're just struggling up there. Only being 2 of them up there. That middle lane hasn't really formed either.
They're still staying pretty stagnant as they run right now. No one's really been able to make progress in that outside lane like they were earlier on. As we go on board the 56 of Oscar Enriquez in that outside lane, they're just not able to make this work. And they just keep dropping spots. You see more cars going by on the inside. There's the 68. That is Ashton Slice, our pole sitter there. On the inside, that's James Bickford as well. On that inside, they're all going by. This sitting duck of Ryan Wayne and Oscar Enriquez as they head into turn 3. See it move to the top of 29 of Corey Gray, moves up there, but it's just not going to be enough to matter. 3 cars up there, now make it 2. Enriquez bails back to the middle lane, but it's still Robbie Lyons leading the charge here.
As soon as that happened, that 3rd lane formed up again. Now, middle lane, moving up to the top. Not anymore. Here comes O'Brien. O'Brien making it work on the outside lane.
DeBorgia's been all over the place here, but O'Brien's going to try to force it 3 wide with help from Connor Harrington. How about Ryan Vargas about to crack back into the top 10 here?
So O'Brien really had to force it on the outside, because you mentioned DeBorgia almost fenced him in the wall going into turn 1, how tight they were. The 3 cars on the move with a huge push going into turn 3.
They're still 3 by 3 here, but now that outside lane simmers down a little bit, dropping back. You see there, it's still Lyons and White battling for the point here as we come up on lap 43. Sheldhouse making moves back in the back, trying to see what lane he wants to work with. He'll fall in line behind, I believe it's 25 of Bickford. Outside line starting to work. Here they come, making the charge to the lead is James O'Brien with help from Connor Harrington. Harrington has been a phenomenal pusher, but it looks like he's slow up top. Did something happen to the 44? He's blowing up.
That is very unfortunate, but a great job. Get out of the way. Great job out of everybody not get into him. He's able to get down to pit road.
They just send it down pit road there.
Very surprised to see the first engine blow this deep into the race. We're not just quite halfway yet, but Harrington is unable to continue with that car tonight. He's going to have to do the quick reset right there.
Yeah, he'll have to get that fast repair. He'll be a lap down, if not maybe a little more because of that. But, you know, unfortunate end of the day. You see a car go off track back in the back. I think that was the 48 of Lul's Asnake back there in the back, shooting back down, back up on track. He's losing more spots outside the top 20 now. He'll settle back down in 21st, but there's still 2 by 2 battling for the lead up top. There you see Gabe Wood. He is trying to make that outside lane work. And like you said, Adam, I'm shocked that we have not seen more engines blow. I wonder if we can get Gage to find out what happened there. But definitely a heartbreak there for Harrington. He was doing so well, being able to push a lot of these guys up to the front, and now with a blown engine, really going to take him out of things here. how about Alexander White, 27 years old, out of Pennsylvania here, and he has been mixing it up with these guys this entire race. He's been up front, just doing a great job, and he's been battling for this lead nonstop here with Lyons and others. This 24 could very well be a threat to win this race as it goes on. He has been just a force to be reckoned with. He's been phenomenal tonight.
Man, that middle lane, the 5-car, Alonso Chicano got stacked up. I'm not sure if he had a little bobble, may have touched the apron, but that put that inside lane at a standstill almost. Brophy got to the back of Chicano, had a lift, and that just checked up everybody behind Brophy.
DeBorgia trying to side draft there on the exit of 2, heading into turn 3. They are side by side again. For race lead, it's White and DeBorgia. And look who's joined the top 10. Vargas, Schildhouse. How about Christopher Tate back there in 9th? And of course, Ryan Vargas up and down. Oh, involved in that last wreck, now back up in the top 5 after the incident he had getting spun down the backstretch after contact with the 40 of DeBorgia, who we now see take over the race lead.
And Vargas has given a huge push to Slice. They're making their way up to the front very quickly. Side by side for the race lead now. Slice, DeBorgia.
How about Schleiss? Started on the pole, now able to fight his way back to the front with help now from Ryan Vargas, but still DeBorgia and White 1-2 as they run right now. I see back there that's the 70 Davis Warren. He's kind of shuffled around a little bit, gets back in line, but now an outside line forming. It's Michael Edwards in the 21, and behind him, I believe, that is going to be the 10 of John Garrett, and they're going to have a huge run down the front straightaway, heading into 1.
3 wide, several rows deep once again. Here comes Edwards. Great push down the back straightaway, now off of 3. Edwards easily going to take the lead. He is clear of all lanes now.
I see him dive down to the bottom, but looking to the back, James Bickford has been all over the place. Top, bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle, middle, top, bottom. And now he finds himself second in the outside lane, pushing Gabe Wood.
Speaking of Gabe Wood, there was contact between he and Slice into turn 3 that could have been huge. They got it going. DeBorgia back to the lead, and he's blocking all lanes.
But here comes a run to the outside. Gabe Wood and Ryan Vargas have hooked back up. John Garrett's trying to work with Ashton Schleiss to get to the point. They're going to be 3 wide once again, heading into turn 1. Car up in the wall, it looked like. That might have been the 33, I believe, who got up in the wall. Ben Brophy going to lose a lot more spots, a little bit of damage to that car. He is struggling with the handling.
Huge run from Vargas with help of Wood. That middle lane, though, Garrett, he is not going away. Garrett with the advantage going into 3.
We are only halfway through this race, but they are still racing like it's the last lap. They are battling as hard as they can to see what they can do. And you see Schildhouse leaning on White. They're getting really close with that side draft. It's getting really aggressive now. Garrett leading. DeBorgia battling Schleiss for second, but you'll see Garrett will go to the bottom. That'll leave that 68 of Ashton Schleiss to lead that middle pack. Vargas still out front up top.
Oh.
Ooh, had
moment there for Schleiss.
Oh my goodness, he had to catch that one. That was a handful, and that's going to cost that pack some momentum. You see Robbie Lyons is going to bail out. He thinks he's seen enough as we continue to march down the back straightaway. That 68 dropping spots, dropping to the back. Don't know if it was an issue or just snapped around a little bit, got out from under him, and he just had to catch it, and he's losing this momentum, but dropping back out to the top 10, maybe even out to the top 20 now for that 68 machine. As you see now, the third lane forming again. This time it's going to be James Bickford with Ryan Vargas, and I believe that is going to be the 31 of Chris Hacker on the back bumper. It's Still Garrett leading. Bickford second, but here comes a run to the outside. Going with Vargas now. Bickford going to the point.
Inside lane so far. Looks like the preferred lane off the corner, but here comes that middle lane. Shieldhouse to the point. Oh, moment there for DeBorgia. Shieldhouse goes down to the bottom.
Talk about
Oscar
unlikely.
Enriquez.
Sorry, good job, Josh. Talk about unlikely allies here. Look at this middle lane. Oscar Enriquez and Alonso Chicano are going to work together. That's an interesting decision making there, between the two of them. It looks like it's going to work though, because Enriquez is to the point. And they're both going to clear to the inside lane and pull down. Three wide out back, top two, clear for now.
The moment you said that, here comes a huge run. That 24 white, huge shove from the back of DeBorgia. Or the front of DeBorgia, rather. They are going to almost clear that 56. Oscar Enriquez just not able to.
White was able to. DeBorgia was left to dry, hung out to dry.
Here comes that outside. DeBorgia stuck in the middle.
Still three wide, still battling tight for the lead, for the positions they can get. And look, here comes Enriquez to the outside, gonna battle for the race lead again. Gonna try to lead it at the stripe. And he will.
Alonso pushing him again, and DeBorgia right behind him with Ryan Vargas. So he's got three great pushers. They're all gonna span out into turn one, but he's got Alonso right tucked up behind him.
Alex Kerfin left by himself in the outside lane, going to have to drop back into the middle lane behind Vargas, right in front of James Bickford, who's been making some pretty aggressive moves. Now here comes Alonso Chicano, going to make a move. He's going to go for the race lead.
Enriquez going to get a push from White. Chicano getting a push from DeBorgia.
Vargas kind of in and out of line there. A lot of you might have been peeking to go out. Might have just gotten up a little too tight up the track. We couldn't tell there, but right now, that outside line rolling. Chicano, Enriquez side by side for the race lead.
Chicano is going to clear Enriquez. They're dealing with a lap car up ahead.
Yeah, there was a whole...
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah, a whole pack of them. Three of them looked like they went off to the inside to get out of the way of the leaders. Everyone doing a great job, though.
Here comes DeBorgia with help from Vargas. DeBorgia, he is clear. He takes the bottom.
An aggressive move to get to the bottom, but he clears Chicano and opens the outside lane to Vargas and Kerfin.
Oh, look at Chicano moving to the outside in front of Vargas. Chicano gonna retake the lead. Chicano not pulling down to the inside lane. He's gonna stay in front of Vargas. And now he made a move a little bit. Vargas stayed to the outside, so now put Vargas in that position to the outside of Chicano with help from Kerfan.
I don't think Alonso wanted to do that. He looked like he kind of regretted it. He had second thoughts about moving down to the bottom, and that allowed that 23. And I saw a plume of smoke back in the back. Couldn't tell what it was. But you see Chicano and Vargas side by side battling for the race lead.
Kerfan was pushing Vargas so hard there. Kerfan had to back off to get into the corner. I'm wondering how his temperatures are looking right now, because he is not to the back bumper of Vargas as hard as he was down the back straightaway. You're still making a little bit of headway going into turn one, but not enough, as Chicano still leading this race.
Definitely want to start worrying about temperatures after seeing Harrington blow up. you want to keep your eyes on that tachometer to see if that thing spikes. Definitely a scary sight to see if your car just suddenly the engine lets go. So definitely want to watch that. I see, looks like some struggle out back. Might have been Chris Hacker at the outside line, kind of having a little bit of trouble. A little bit further back. It's kind of a little all over the place, but he's currently riding in 14th position. Right behind him is Christopher Tate, and I believe that's Dawson Cram to the outside. But right now up front, Chicano out front. Here comes DeBorgia. Left him high and dry. Went to the outside. That's going to give DeBorgia a run down the front stretch. He will lead that lap.
Borgia pulls back down to the inside, but he has a huge gap in the back before even getting to Chicano. This may very well come into Vargas' favor as he now has a huge push from the 95 Kurt van. And here comes the outside lane all the way up against the wall. Third lane forming. It's going to be O'Brien about to take the lead.
So Brian, Tate, and Cram, look at this run. They've got to the outside. They've gone from about maybe 15 to the race lead. Ooh, DeBorgia wanted that outside lane. He got a little loose. Just about got into Kerfin there. What a save by DeBorgia.
Right now, Ryan Vargas is race leader, but O'Brien, once again, he is coming on the outside. Three wide for the race lead.
Something's going to have to give here. These guys are racing so hard. They are battling like it's the last lap. We've still got plenty of racing to go. You know, it's just a tight battle all around. We'll go on board the 50 of Gabe Wood and see his perspective here riding around in the 11th position. Settling back down, it looks like. DeBorgia battling side by side with Vargas, the top four, maybe making top six now clear. See Tate dive back down to that middle lane. Brian, Cram, and Wayne gonna be left to the outside, but now Chicano gonna shove DeBorgia out front.
So touching back on the Dean Thompson disappearance, drivers said that they saw him just full throttle turn one under yellow, and then he left the server. Not sure why.
Interesting. Thank you for that, Gage. You see here, though, Ryan Vargas taking back the race lead as they continue to battle side by side. Kerfin going to lead this outside line with help from Bickford. Still 2 by 2s. You see the shove from DeBorgia to the back of Vargas.
DeBorgia has done such a great job tonight being the guy making the moves. He's been so aggressive and he is making the energy right now for Vargas.
Doing everything he can to make these moves. And now it's still side by side heading through the tri-oval. Gabe Wood going to the outside, going to try to make something work, but he's all by himself right now. It's just not going to pay off at the line that time. I believe Vargas led, but Kerfin's still right there trying to make this outside lane work. So as the field continues to battle for this race lead, 62 laps complete, we're almost to the finish. We're going to take you on one last side-by-side break, but don't go anywhere. You won't miss a thing.
Practice went okay, but if he keeps pushing like that, what are you going to do? Here we go.
Can I get your autograph?
Yeah, sure.
I can't wait to show my grandson.
We cut back in from break. A massive accident has just occurred here on lap 63, taking out a good portion of the field. The caution flag is going to fly again. And just like that, this race has been turned on its head.
Well, we knew it was only a matter of time until it happened. Luckily, most of these guys, if not all of them, have a fast repair in the bank, so I think we should see most of these cars returning to the tracks, albeit new body underneath them.
So they were going by Zachary Tinkle and Nathan Kiani here. They were lapping these two cars. And then you see right here, somebody... Oh, Tinkle makes contact with Cram, Tate, White, and you see Schildhouse is in it. The 99 gets involved. Gabe Wood gets a piece of it. I believe the 117 was in it as well. Good amount of guys there with nowhere to go. Let's see if we can get an onboard view from Gabe Wood. See right there, already know where to go. This is coming off of turn 2. You see the 11, 41 make contact, and then around the field goes, just nowhere for Wood to go. Into the 11 is Zachary Tinkle, and the 03 as well, spinning down across the track. A lot of damage, a lot of chaos, a lot of guys involved in that one. So we'll see some cars on pit road here. Looks like Alex Kerfin pulls off first. James Bickford second, Ryan Vargas third, Lul Snake fourth, and James O'Brien fifth. You know, Josh, it's typical. We go to commercial break in one of these things, they have to just wreck then.
Yeah, this is only the second caution tonight as well. So these guys, they have been completely, clean for the most part. I mean, there has been a lot of great saves, but yeah, just think it's a little funny that, the second caution we see tonight, it is under our commercial break.
Now, the big thing is it wasn't just the second, that was actually the third caution. But the big thing I see here, what I'm looking at numbers here, that might have been the last pit stop they would have to make it to the end of the race. It'd be very, very close on the number here. With about 30 laps to go, I mean, they very may well be able to make it to the end, but I'm not too sure.
Well, it could be why some of these guys are running right now on the apron, like running on the flat, trying to conserve everything. See Vargas leading them among those.
So the field will come around here. I believe they'll get to 1 to green. And you'll see the choose cone happen again. So we'll see how they shake up, where they decide to go. It's Kerfin, though, the lead car here coming around with Bickford second, Vargas third. And then, of course, Lul Snake, he is kind of been able to bounce around through the field. He has been to the back, he's been to the front, but now he's up to fourth. So he's got a good shot to steal a win here. Running in this fourth position, that number 48 machine. We'll have to see what he can pull off here. See Oscar Enriquez, James O'Brien, Alonso Chicano, Peter DeBorgia, Robbie Lyons, Alex White. That makes up the remainder of your top 10 here. So while the field paces around, we'll give you a quick run through the field on who is where they're running right now. So Kerfin leads. Vargas is going to start second. Then it's Bickford going to start third. Lul Asnake fourth. James O'Brien is fifth. Oscar Enriquez sixth. Peter DeBorgia scored seventh. Alonso Chicano scored eighth. And then it's Peter DeBorgia and Alex White making up the top 10. Then Robbie Lyons, Brandon Walter, Michael Edwards, Ryan Wayne, Corey Gray, Dawson Cram, Brian Smith, Luke Strayer, Jeffrey Armstead, Stephen Mazzoli, Davis Warren. That is your top 20. John Garrett, Chris Hacker, Ben Brophy, Case Kallenbach, Gabe Wood, Blake Lothian, Garrett Smithley, Ashton Schleiss, David Schildhouse, Christopher Tate is the top 30. Then there's one car left. 31st is Chris Strickland. That is on the lead lap. Everybody else after that's a lap down. That's Randall Sherritt, Andrew Sanford, Nathan Kiani, and Zachary Tinkle. And the focus on the rest of those guys out of the race, it looks like. I believe that is Gary Sexton, Andrew Palesci, Ethan Troutman, Braden Laster, Connor Harrington, and of course we saw Dean Thompson and JB Fortin. Both are out of the session for sure, so we know for sure they are gone. But that is your run through the field here for the runnings tonight as they approach 30 laps to go. Josh, Adam, are we done with yellows?
No, we are not.
Highly doubt it.
We'll have to see. With 30 laps to go, can the field make it clean and green to the end? Kerfin, Vargas make up row 1, coming to the tri-oval into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back underway. Kerfin gets a great launch. Bickford right behind him.
We're back under caution.
Oh, yeah. Looking to see who it might have been. I don't see anything for cause. Or maybe I do here. I see, looks like Alex Kerfin might have had an issue. No.
Van's still running up front. I'm not really sure either. I don't see anything.
We'll look back in the back. See anything up ahead? I'm gonna be honest. I am not seeing anything that tells me that we had a caution. All right. So a caution flag will fly once again. Trying to look and see. Kerfin is currently the race leader. There he is right there. I didn't see anything for cause. I don't see what happened. Not too sure where that caution came from. So interesting.
Yeah, we got Gage on assignment right now to figure out what this caution's for. Very interesting yellow flag. Almost looked like the green never really came back out the way the caution flew immediately.
I don't know if that was an admin caution or not, Josh. If you can get a word on that, I would very much appreciate it. But right now, we're kind of dumbfounded. There was nothing there that would have caused a yellow.
Let's see if Gage might have some.
Yes, perfect timing. So I found the culprits. It was Zachary Tinkle and Tate Christopher back in the field. And you might note there in the last incident as well. Not sure what the cause of the second was to bring out the last yellow, but I do know that those two were involved.
Okay. So we'll see if we can get a look back and see if we can find out what happened. We're looking to see what it might have been. So I notice here, Chris Strickland has an incident. Christopher Tate and Zachary Tinkle do as well. I'm looking, trying to see what happened. I see where they have their 4X, but nothing of the sort here. But I do see right here where Tinkle has some damage. I guess Sim just didn't want us to see it. It's a phantom caution. It's like Jessica Friesen's flip at Knoxville earlier this year. Fox didn't want us to see it, so we don't get to see it. But a caution between Tinkle and Tate, supposedly, is what puts us under caution here. As the field loads back in. Kerfin takes the bottom. Vargas back to the top. That was interesting, Josh. If you can get anything on that, I would love to see what happened there. But let's see what's gonna happen here.
All this does is just make those who we thought were tight on fuel have a couple more laps just to conserve and ride and save and, you know, not go full speed.
Yeah, they'll be able to go for it now to see what they can do. But now Vargas, Kerfin, still the front row. They're going to have to work together and see what they can do. Bickford third, Snake fourth, and O'Brien fifth. So they come through the tri-oval, heading for the Geico restart zone. The field will stack up here on the outside lane. Green flag is going to go back out, and we're going to be back underway here at Talladega.
Much more even restart there from last time. Top 6 pulling away, make that top 7 rather, as here comes Alonso Chicano. Now everybody making their way up to the front at 24, moving to the outside. White, he is behind Oscar Enriquez. Ryan Vargas making a move. Help from the 48 on Saki. Right now, Kerfan, though, has the advantage in 3.
Just to clear up, the latest yellow was a game yellow, not an admin control.
So typical iRacing being wonky as always, but right now the battle still going on between Kerfin, Vargas. There you see Bickford is right there on the back bumper of that 95 machine, shoving him back out front. We have crossed over into 71 laps, closing in on the end of this race. But Vargas trying to lead that outside line. They're not quite forming up properly yet. That inside line, 4 cars there right there, nose to tail. They're making it work. But now that outside lane going to storm back with the momentum on the back straightaway.
See Kerfin's car just snake down the back straightaway with how big the pushes James Bickford has given to him. It shot the 95 down the yellow line just a little bit. That's how big these runs these guys are getting right now.
Huge runs coming in. But you see there, Kerfin still able to try to maintain the race lead. Bickford right there still in his back bumper. They are getting tight up here in the front again. Vargas leading a Snake on the outside lane there. But you see Ryan Wayne jumps to the top, going to try to make something work. Can't quite get a group of people together to go with him. He's all by himself. You see there a little bit further back, I see Dawson Crams back up in the mix up there. How about Jeffrey Armistead back there in that 020 car? Currently riding in the 12th position, that Bucky scheme. Right now, he is trying to crack the top 10 for the first time tonight. But he's going to have a little bit of a battle to go through. He's got DeBorgia up ahead of him. Who's inside is Alonso Chicano.
With Snake with a huge push to Vargas, got the 23 to the lead. Now he got a huge push from Oscar Enriquez himself. Now put the 48 out in front.
Snake leads at the line. Here comes Enriquez, though, back on the outside, battling for the lead. Ooh, Cram got a little loose up top. I saw that there at the top of the screen. He was able to recover, kept it from going around and stacking the field up again, but now Esnake leading. Here comes Enriquez with White on his back bumper, a run to the outside.
These guys are feeling the intensity now. There's less than 25, right now 24 laps to go in this race. The heat is on.
Pace is absolutely going to pick up here from now on. We're going to see a lot of guys make some more bold moves. You see Jeffrey Armistead now up to 6th. I want to put a highlight on him. He was a late entry, a last-second entry into this race after another couple drivers could not make the field. But now up to 6th. A great run so far by that number 020 Bucky's Ford Mustang as he rolls 3rd in the outside lane behind the 40 of DeBorgia and the 24 of Alex White.
Third lane forming a little further back. Brophy leading that lane. I have to see here if they are able to get anywhere. I say that, they start breaking up. So right now, only 2 lanes that have an opportunity right this second.
Snake jumping to the outside. He's going to try to get around Enriquez here, coming through the tri-oval to lead this time by. If he can clear him here, not quite. They're still side by side. That time by, give it to Esnake. But here comes White to the back bumper of the 48. The 23 of Vargas pushing Enriquez. And look at Jeffrey Armistead and Alonso Chicano in the outside lane. They tried to make something work. They ended up dropping the anchor. They are falling back fast as the battle for the lead heats up still. Enriquez takes the point. He's going to try to pull to the middle lane and try to hold that middle lane.
And he is gonna be pushed. Going back down to the bottom, right in front of Vargas.
Vargas with no other option than to push that 56 right now. He's going to shove him as you see a lap car up ahead. Going to have to get out of the way here as quick as possible. But Vargas and Snake got pretty close to contact there, heading through the tri-oval. Enriquez will lead that time. You see, that's Zachary Tinkle. He's going to run that bottom lane. He was just about in front of the race leaders, and that's going to stack him up a little bit. Schildhouse and Bickford somehow made contact, didn't wreck it there. Whew. That was tight.
Here comes the top lane. Once again. They're trying to, at least.
Trying to make a wreck and crashing! Wrecking in the back, Vargas upside down in the air! A massive accident's going to lead to another caution and another restart.
And Vargas still barrel rolling down the front stretch. He now lands on all 4 wheels. How in the world is he still driving that thing?
The power of iRacing. Oh my goodness, a massive accident there. I believe that started with the 40 of Peter DeBorgia. We'll have to look back and see here as you see the accident already in progress. There's Vargas going airborne. This all happened coming out of turn 3 and 4. They were right there stacked up together. I believe it was a push from Schildhouse, maybe? No, contact with the 40 and the 28. And that sends DeBorgia back into the field. And you see them all stack up right there. Chicano nowhere to go. The 32 as well, nowhere to go. You see the rest of the field trying to drive by it, make it through. Let's see if we can go on board with the driver of the 020, Jeffrey Armistead there. That looked like a pretty tight situation. See Vargas go airborne there. Oh my goodness. You see the rest of the chaos happening ahead of him. Able to miss it all and get through it somehow, some way without a scratch. So with that caution, that hands the race lead over to Lul Esnake Oscar Enriquez scored second. So Ryan Vargas flipping through the air in that one. You got to think that's a thumbs down moment for Ryan Vargas. Not the best result you could have had there, but still, driving that car to pit road, I'm going to presume he's got that fast repair saved and ready to go here after that one. Indeed he does.
Of time he saved by just somehow driving that car an entire lap after going airborne. It saved him so much time. He didn't have to tow and he doesn't have to wait, like you mentioned earlier, Dawson. Now he can just drive away with a brand new race car.
Yeah, but just like that, he is back in the mix. So from a thumbs down situation to a thumbs up situation, ready to go back to war. So with this being a caution, I'm going to see if we can get a hold of somebody and see if we can get a word in from him. Let me look and see where he's hiding at. Looking around here to see if we can find him. I don't see him anywhere though, so it looks like we're going to have to put that on hold. Gage, you got anything out on the pit road?
I talked to Peter DeBorgia after the incident took place in the Tribal. He said, unfortunate deal, he was trying to get air into the radiator, and as soon as he pulled out of line, another car was trying to side after him at the same time, and it created that huge mess in the Tribal.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing about it. You know, you get a little too close trying to side draft. You know, it's like, flying too close to the sun, you're going to get burned. And we saw that happen just now with DeBorgia. Thanks, Gage, for that report. But now we see coming around this time, they'll be choosing just under 20 laps to go. Make it about maybe 18 this time by. Adam, who are you looking at right now? If you want to change your pick, who are you looking at?
There's a lot of good cars that just got torn up in that crash, but there's still a lot of great drivers, great cars, great machines up there that are going to make a difference. Someone that we don't see a lot contending for wins, and it's great to see him up there. Regularly on JCTV is that JCTV car, Oscar Enriquez. Him making these moves tonight has been so refreshing to see. He had a little bit of success in the Superspeedway series, but he's having his own moment tonight, just having his element, I think.
And, for those who may not know as well, I mean, he raced in the Court Truck Series last season, came very close to a win. I believe it was at the fairgrounds, or it may have been North Wilkesboro, actually. He was very close to the win, came oh so close, just unable to do it. But driving that JCTV scheme, representing the brand, making us proud, having a great run tonight. Currently scored second, and he's led some laps, but now he's going to have to battle here with Lul Asnake, who currently leads the field. There's Chris Hacker there in third, able to make his way up here to the field. There's Alex White in fourth. Alex Kerfin, he's in fifth. Somehow made it through that wreck. I don't know how he did, but right now scored in the fifth position is Kerfin.
Another driver that is shocked they're still going is the 21 of Michael Edwards. He's in JCTV chat and said he needs a new underwear, dirty pants after that crash.
Have to see how this plays out. I believe when they hit the line, it'll be 17 laps to go. Still anybody's race to win. Everybody's got a shot to make it to victory lane here tonight at Talladega. And I see back there in ninth, how about Dawson Cram? Somehow still rolling, driving in that me scheme. The Cougar on the hood, reminiscent of Ricky Bobby. Trying to see if he can make something work there. Garrett Smith right there behind him as well. There's Gabe Wood there on that bottom lane, still in it here, that Alpha Prime 50 car. Pace car drives off into pit road. Asnake, Enriquez, the front row. Ooh, I don't know about that. He jumped a little early before the restart zone. The green flag is going to be out. I don't know how that's going to work, though. He kind of jumped the start there.
I'm definitely interested to see how they rule that. Yeah, that was an early restart.
And we operate on the restart zone here in this race tonight, and I think they're going to pull to the outside. Hacker's going to make an aggressive move. Here comes Enriquez back to the inside. There's Kerfin going to go to the outside to push Hacker. The field is all sorts of spaced out right now because of that restart. You see Garrett Smithley now in the mix as well, but Enriquez, the back bumper of the 48. We're going to see if he dives into pit road this time. He's going to stay out for now. They may have ruled it clean, but it was kind of close. He launched well before the restart zone.
As they're saying, they're cutting him some slack because he's looking at the wrong line.
Ooh, Hacker got hit there. Going to be 4 wide for the race lead. Dave Wood to the outside. Kerfin in the middle with Hacker. And Snake's going to make it work still on the inside line. That was close.
That was insane.
So as Gage reported, Snake is going to be good for that restart. So the restart is ruled good. We are going to keep racing as we are. Enriquez now rides second. How about Michael Edwards up to third? How about Brandon Walter in fourth?
Garrett Smithley up here for the first time pretty much all night, but he is stuck in the middle right now, no help. Here comes Borgia, now back of Smithley. See if my pick to win can get some steam up front.
15 to go at the line, presented by the Children's Haven. As we see them cross the stripe, that time Snake still leading, but here comes a run to the outside. It's Smithley and DeBorgia. They're going to work together nose to tail on the outside lane with Kerfin now joining. Here comes that 25 of James Bickford. He's going to try to make something work. John Garrett's there in that outside lane as they start to make it double file heading through the tri-oval. How about Garrett Smithley finally getting up front, battling for the lead?
He's been patient all race long, done a great job so far. Now, clear, moving down to the bottom, and here comes that 29, nowhere to go now. What a move from, actually, I believe, scored 25, Bickford.
How about DeBorgia? Look at DeBorgia back up here. He was that accident just before that last caution. Now he's back up here contending for the lead once more after using his fast repair. Somehow, some way, he's fought back through the field. DeBorgia, Smithley side by side for the lead. The Snake, Bickford make up row 2 there. Enriquez and Garrett are row 3, and then they're 3 wide behind them. Everybody's battling for any spot they can get, trying to get any inch that's given to them.
Oh, and Garrett in the 10 car just jumped to the outside lane. He's going to be leading that line. He made his OCA debut this year at this racetrack. 3 career starts, and he's going to go with a huge momentum, trying to go to the lead on the outside of that 29 car.
Yeah,
Can't do it on the outside of 1.
Trying to make that outside lane work. It's just not working too well. DeBorgia, however, is making the middle lane work, trying to make a run to the lead. Here comes the push from Bickford. Now Bickford's kind of shuffling around. Hacker's on his back bumper now. Is Chris Hacker going to jump out of line? There's Robbie Lyons right there. You're starting to see here a lot of those racers are determining it's race time. They're making their charges to the front.
Borgia, clear. He goes all the way down to the bottom lane in front of Smithley. And they are now just so tight, 3 wide, 4 rows deep, up here for the race lead.
A huge run to the outside. John Garrett got all the way up side by side with DeBorgia. They're going to lose a little bit of steam here heading down the back, but they are still fighting hard on the outside with 12 laps to go.
Sherritt was all over Garrett going into turn 1. Sherritt was leading that line until Garrett pulled in front of him, but it's going to be DeBorgia defending his tail off these last 12 laps. blocking every lane. He's been in control of this race a lot, and he's going to continue. Here's Smithley making a move.
Garrett Smithley to the middle lane, going to try to make a move on the race leader, Peter DeBorgia. Here they come, approaching a lap car. I believe that's the 11 of Zachary Tinkle, so hold on tight. Coming to 11 laps to go. Nobody's going to give an inch. Hackard almost got into Garrett. They're still 3 wide. Look at the run coming back to the outside lane. Oh, and they're going to wreck! They're going to stack up! Zachary Tinkle just did the LePage! And just like that, the caution flag will fly again. And there is damage throughout the field.
One's the cars destroyed in the grass. One got up into the catch fence for a little while too.
I'm gonna look back and see what is Tinkle thinking, man? Oh my goodness. Saw the 95 of Alex Kerfin go upside down. We're gonna see if we can get an onboard of his view heading into that one. See, he's already wrecked right there. He's on board. Kerfin gets the wall right there. Everybody trying to get around the lap car, and then, oh, up on the wall. There's Robbie Lyons involved. Kiani's in it. I believe Brian Smith made it through.
That Kerfin camera really does make it look like and feel like the replay of the Kevin LePage crash. Just the way everyone just starts bouncing into each other, knowing it's happening. You're just bracing for impact.
Or with Enriquez here coming up on this incident. Couldn't tell if he scraped by it here. Look at that. We'll see if we can go on board with the 52 of Brian Smith heading into this wreck. Carnage. I see Ryan Vargas got involved too. See if we can get one last view on board. We'll go on board with that 23 machine of Ryan Vargas. Couple of hits, just nowhere to go for that 23 machine. He'll be on pit road getting some damage repaired. Peter DeBorgia continues, though, to lead the field. So after all that chaos, after everything that happened there, we've got 9 laps to go. We should be going green with 7 laps to go. Let's take you through the field and see where we sit right now. Peter DeBorgia leading the field. James Bickford is second. He is one of our racers. Randall Sherritt third. Lula Snake is fourth. Oscar Enriquez rounding up the top 5. Michael Edwards is sixth. Brandon Walter is seventh. Ryan Wayne, fans, stand up. Running 8th right now with a good shot to win it. Davis Warren is 9th, and Andrew Sanford rounds out your top 10.
I just got done talking to Zachary Tinkle, and he stated that he was maintaining his position along the yellow line, and he said he got split and had to go. A few people did suggest that he should have maybe stayed on the apron at that point. Just one of those deals, I guess.
Yeah, I don't like being that kind of guy, but, as a lap car, run that bottom line like that, kind of wash up the corner, just really puts the field in a bad position, especially when they're storming 3 wide towards you. So unfortunate end of the day for some of these drivers, it looks like, may not be able to recover due to having too much damage I see Dawson Cram is still on pit road. Looks like he might be getting ready to roll off, trying to beat the pace car off as the field should be coming to 1 to green this time by. 7 laps to go. So you see there, Bickford goes outside. He'll have the 27 of Randall Sherritt pushing him. A Snake on the back of Peter DeBorgia. It all comes down to how this will play out. Seven laps to go. Are we done?
Oh man, you know, once again, I'm going to answer this with no. I don't think so. On top of that, we have a lot of green-white checkers. There's a very possibility we could use a few of them.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you know, there's definitely going to be some chaos here. Everybody's going to make a sprint to the finish. Even if we get another caution, it'll be overtimes, and I think the limit is 15 in iRacing. That's what we got tonight. Hopefully we don't have to use them all, but we've got them there in case we do. So, DeBorgia, Bickford, Sherritt, Asnake, Enriquez is your top 5. There's Brandon Walter down there on the inside of row 3. He chose that bottom lane, so he'll be restarting 3rd in the inside lane. These guys that are up here, there's a couple of them that have used their fast repairs. Some of these guys have been able to keep their nose clean the majority of this race, and that's why they are where they are. It will be 7 laps remaining when we get the green flag this time. DeBorgia has had a really great run today. Can he try to close it off with a win? Can Bickford steal one for the racers? Coming to the Geico restart zone through the tri-oval. Pace car is off. As we anticipate them heading back to it, gonna step on that gas pedal. Green flag is gonna fly once again. Back underway. DeBorgia didn't get going at first. Bickford had to back off. It's gonna stack up the outside lane.
Here comes a 3rd lane already.
Look at that. Is that led by Chris Hacker, the 31? Yes, it is. Hacker's going to try to make the start lane work with Smithley, and I believe it's the 68 of Ashton Schleiss, our pole sitter, trying to make it work.
You mentioned the stack up on the restart. Hacker just turned right, did not check up at all, and Smithley behind him just kept pushing him, and they're going to be 3 wide for the lead at the end of the back straightaway because of it.
The 32 dropping like an anchor here, falling all the way back, and the 68 slow. Issues for the 68 of Schleiss. He stacks up the 20 of Schildhaus, and that slows up that outside lane. Everybody's going to duck for cover, I should say, trying to avoid it. And you see Enriquez will pull to the outside. Ryan Wayne now going to pull to the bottom there. He's the 4th car on that inside line. They're 3 wide for 2nd. 6 laps to go. Hacker's going to have a run down the front straightaway with a push from Garrett Smithley and Oscar Enriquez right on their back bumper. Not able to maintain it through 1 and 2. Hacker and Smithley going to get a little disconnected here. They're going to try to get back together. A little bobble out of that outside lane. How about Bickford through the middle? Going to take back the race lead with help from Randall Sherritt.
Bickford jumps down to the inside to block DeBorgia. Will DeBorgia make a move here? He does. He goes to the outside lane.
Snake got the
inside
apron.
lane.
Ooh, trying to side draft that outside lane. Here comes Hacker with Smithley and Enriquez once more. 5 laps remaining here at Talladega. Smithley and Hacker are going to clear. They're going to pull to the bottom. What a masterclass of a move by Hacker and Smithley. Wrecking. 21's around. Enriquez in the wall, piling up. The caution's going to fly again. There's Alonso Chicanos involved. Enriquez was in it. And we will have an overtime.
caution was once again imminent with the way they were racing. But real quick before we look at the replay, how about that move Smithley made, pushing Chris Hacker to the lead? Smithley was tucked up underneath the 31 car for like 3 or 4 laps since that restart, maybe, just pushing the daylights out of Hacker.
Contact from the 21 and the 56 sends them around. Enriquez got the wall, spun back down through the pack, got hit by Vargas. Still has that fast repair, I believe, so he should be good to go for this restart. Just watch this view here. There's no chance of making it. Around he goes into the pack, but you said it. You said it. Let's go look and see. That move that we saw out of Smithley and Hacker was phenomenal. We're going to go back and look and see how that happened here. They are all the way back here on this outside line, and just watch this move they make. Side drafts to 27, and just a huge run down the front by Hacker and Smithley. They lock nose to tail, and you just see this huge shot that Smithley gives Hacker. They don't just clear for the lead, they clear for second as well, and they pull it down to the bottom lane. Just an incredible move by the two, and just a great move all around. And they were really setting themselves up to try to make a run at the end here. So they will get around to 2 to go this next time by, I believe, or at least to get ready for the restart. Chris Hacker, the race leader. Garrett Smithley to second. What an amazing move they made. And now we're going to go into the first overtime. You see Hacker kind of roll in the bottom. You kind of wonder, is he trying to save fuel?
He might. He might be. He is down on the apron.
See the 40 to Borgia as well now joins him on the apron. It's coming down to a fuel mileage race to see who can save enough. So we'll see where they decide to go here on this restart. Of course, Smithley and Hacker, the amazing move they pulled off there to get to the outside lane and to push all the way to the lead and clear to the bottom. It was incredible. And now we're going to see how they can make this play out here in this first overtime. Will we only have the one overtime? That I'm not too sure about, but I'm seeing you know, just a wacky top 10 now. A little bit wacky, I say, because it's flipped from what we saw earlier. Earlier, it was a lot of those Reddit guys in this top 10. Now it's a lot of the racers. Hackers, Smithley's up here. Bickford's here. You see, you know, the 15 of Robbie Lyons in the top 10. But also, too, Kerfin. Alex Kerfin is back up to 9th. Lulis Nake is 7th right now. How about Steven Mazzoli all the way up here in the 6th position? Shout out to him getting all the way up here to 6th. I believe that is a TobyChristie.com scheme. If I'm seeing that right, of course, mention Toby Christie. We cannot mention him without mentioning Joseph Srigley. Srigley Stats, of course, the associate sponsor for this race. They sponsor the Choose Cone as well. They are always a good, fun way to get some fun facts about NASCAR. We see here, Choose Cone this time. Hacker goes bottom. Looks like Smithley's going to go with him. DeBorge is going to go top. And they're going to kind of bounce back and forth on how they go from there. But Smithley choosing the bottom. Going to go behind Hacker. Going to try to work with Hacker, it looks like. So a partnership going to form here. The Snake is going to get that 3rd spot on the inside lane there. Kind of slide up through there. See everybody else coming through to choose. I believe that's Bickford and Mazzoli. Here comes Kerfin to the inside. So can Chris Hacker hold on and get the win here tonight, or will someone else walk away with the win?
Well, real quick before we go to the restart, Peter DeBorgia, second place. You picked their third, lining up here second. What do you think about this green white checker? Real quick before we go green.
I didn't expect the front row start, so we'll certainly take it here. But hopefully, man, it'd be really cool to win one of these things. But just bring home a one piece. I'd love to just make sure we get a really good finish out of this car.
Well, you've been up front all night. You've had pretty aggressive moves. What do you think you have left here with just like 2 laps to go?
I mean, as much as I'd love to say it's all on me, it's going to come up to the guys behind me and how they're working together and whatnot. But they get all the credit when good stuff like that happens. So if we can get materialized and get a good run going, and I'll be the one who looks all fancy for it, but it'll be all the work that they did to make it happen.
All right, good luck here before we let you go.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And guys, Garrett Smithley says his plan is to stick with Hacker until the white flag. At that point, all bets are off.
That's about right. The two of them are going to work together. See if they can't settle it amongst themselves. So Hacker, DeBorgia, Smithley, Sherritt, Snake, Bickford. Those are those first 3 rows. There's Kerfin, Malozzi, excuse me. Walter and Warren. That is the top 10. Coming to overtime attempt number 1 here at Talladega for the Children's Havens 250. It's going to be coming down to a green-white checkered at least. Maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe more. Hacker, DeBorgia leading the field of the Geico restart zone. The green flag is displayed overtime at Talladega.
That outside lane did not get going. This is going to be great for Smithley and Hacker right now. And some guys from the outside trying to form up into the bottom lane. That middle is pretty much non-existent right now. Go ahead, Dawson.
Yeah, everybody's single file in that bottom lane. Nobody's trying to dare reach the top. You see back there, the pack is 3 wide. Snake trying to make a move in front of Kerfin. Here they go. Trying to make moves. Bickford now going to get blocked below the double yellow line. It's going to be 3 wide for third. Meanwhile, up front, it's Smithley and Hacker leading the field. Ooh, DeBorgia with a save. How did he save that car?
That was incredible.
An immaculate save by DeBorgia, but now the top 3 making the top 4 on a breakaway. Hacker, Smithley, Bickford, and Warren heading to the white flag. It's going to be 1 lap to go. We're only going to need the 1. It's time for the final lap at Talladega. Smithley, Hacker, Bickford, the top 3. How long does Smithley wait to make the move?
This is the place Smithley wants to be. He's got no pack to worry about. He's just got Bickford and Hacker to really worry about unless those guys get grouped up. But he is in the seat he wants to be, probably.
They are pushing hard back behind. They're going to have a chance. Maybe Warren and Malozzi have a shot. That's about it. Coming down to 3 and 4. There goes the move. Smithley to the outside of Hacker. Hacker's not going to have a shot to the inside. Here comes Warren and Malozzi. Hacker going to pull down low. Smithley going to clear up top. He's going to be in control of the lead. Bickford on his back bumper. Bickford makes the move to the top. They are fanning out. Everybody battling for a position they can get. Spinning in the grass is Hacker. Smithley doors Bickford. Warren turns him. Coming to the line. This time it's going to be, I believe, Alex Kerfin.
Oh my gosh.
Alex Kerfin somehow, some way steals the victory.
Wow.
An incredible run, and I do believe it's going to be Alex Kerfin taking home the trophy in a .00331 thousandths of a second over Stephen Malozzi. Unreal. We're going to have to take a look back and see what happened. This is when they were wrecking. Let's see if we can go all the way back. Take you all the way back and see what happened. This is the field coming through 3 and 4. You saw Hacker there, passed by Smithley. Then Bickford made the move on Smithley. He got to his outside, then right here, Hacker gets turned. Then the whole field stacks up. Smithley into Bickford. Everybody fighting, but look at the whole opening there for Kerfin, but he's wrecked across the line, and somehow, some way, he's able to score the victory. And we'll get the
about
look
to
here.
burn it down.
Gonna get a look on the finish cam. Look at that one there.
His teammate Alonso Chicano asked if he had enough of a car to do a burnout. He says he does.
Try to see if we can get a slow-mo replay of this one here. This was coming to the checkered flag. Still not in frame yet. Want to see if we can get a look and see where they show up. And right there. That's how close the finish was. Remarkable. Rest of the field screaming by. Just like that, Alex Kerfin walking away the race winner here at Talladega. Unbelievable. What do you say? What do you say about that finish?
I am speechless. I have no idea how in the world Kerfan was able to win that race, Dawson. That was incredible. Just right place, right time for Kerfan. Wow. Just incredible.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal here. And a great run to the finish. And after all that, you know, we got that phenomenal finish at the end. So close it was, you know, for Alexander Kerfin to beat Malozzi. Just absolutely phenomenal.
When it was coming down to the finish in 3 and 4, you almost called it, Dawson, with Malozzi shaping up for being in a very great spot. I thought it was going to be all Garrett Smithley, but he got very overzealous in the trying to block every lane. But that's what you have to do. You have to take it all in your hands, and he got into quite a few cars there into the door, and it all went haywire, and that opened the door for Kerfin to sneak right through. And well, he didn't even need to sneak through; he got hit through pretty much.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can get some interviews in. Adam, what do you say you talk to our third place finisher, Davis Warren?
Hey, Davis, you got a copy?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
Well, it was a crazy finish there. You were able to sneak through to a third place finish. Overall, let's start out with the entirety of that race. How was it from your seat, and what did you expect, and what did you overcome through that all?
Yeah, it was a lot. It was kind of exactly what I was expecting there. I knew it was going to be a lot of. I mean, this is going to sound stupid, but like a lot of pack racing. You know, a lot of just kind of managing the pack. Honestly, managing your tires too. They were wearing out a lot. They tend to do that in these B cars, which is fantastic. I love it a lot. Playing all night was just to really just hang out and just see what we can do to get to the front at the end. And sure enough, we were able to do that. Had some I think that last wreck we had that brought the yellow had some nose damage there that kind of slowed us down a little bit on the last 2 restarts, but ended up being all right. I thought we had a really good shot there at the end. I think if I didn't get a little side swipe coming to the checkers, I might have been able to keep it straight and go for the win. But just really happy to be here. Got to thank Andrew Willius for let me come do this. I've been speaking with him a lot recently, so just thankful to be here.
Yeah, you mentioned spun out right at the finish pretty much. Still able to get a third place though in this special event like you mentioned. What was that last lap like overall? The way you were able to set up and almost steal it there with Mazzoli in the last couple corners.
Yeah, we got kind of lucky there. I decided to go to the inside on the restart, and I really didn't think that was the place to be, but nobody chose to restart down there. So I was like, well, I got to go get the real estate. So went and got that, and the top did not get a good restart. So coming off of 2, coming to the white, we got some pretty good track position, and of course it got a little crazier. Some guys started moving up and making some moves that didn't quite work. So just kind of scooted by up to I think 4th coming to at the white flag, and it was just I didn't have enough motor in me to get up to those guys, so I had to rely on them just kind of taking themselves out, and they kind of did a little bit, and that which let us get up there, and then it was just kind of hoping, just not lifting and just seeing where it would stick. So it was crazy to say the least.
Well, congrats again on your run tonight, and anyone you'd like to shout out after a special performance here tonight.
Really just want to again thank Andrew for letting me be a part of this. I sell tickets for NASCAR for the Mid-Atlantic region, and we actually have some really cool offers for tickets specifically for the NASCAR on Reddit community. That we started a lot this past season, and we're doing it even bigger and better this year. We got 6 races right now that we are got some great offers for anybody in the community to take up on, get a little discount on some tickets and come out and see some NASCAR racing. So just go to the page where the pinned post, one of the 2 pinned posts, just go check that out and go get you a seat to a NASCAR race for 2023.
All right, thanks, Davis, for your time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
And with that, Josh, I believe you've got a hold of our 2nd place finisher.
Yeah, hey, Malozzi, you got a copy? And he does not. Try that again. Hey, Malozzi, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, first of all, fantastic finish. P2, just shy of the race win. What was that last lap like for you?
Well, I spent all friggin' day riding around in the back. There was a point where I was like 35 seconds back of the pack with like 4 other guys, and I thought we were going to lose a lap there. And then I kept waiting. I pitted again. Like, I would always go to the back of the pack and kind of just sit and wide around. And I had damage from a wreck earlier in the race, so I waited to use my fast repair until like lap 90. Finally used it. I was talking to Brayton Laster, who had to leave the race because he was in literally every single caution. And he told me to go to the outside, and I'm just like, all right, well, at this point, I guess it's just time to make the moves when you got them. And I think it was Case Kallenbach was coming up behind me. I went up to block him, and he just gave me a massive push, and we all were slideways basically going for that start-finish line. I thought I had it, man. I really thought I had it right there at the end, and then I looked down, and I'm like 2 1,000ths of a second. So it's 1 spot off where we wanted to finish, but
yeah, overall, just an incredible race from up
no
here,
kidding.
and I definitely enjoyed that. But yeah, I mean, what was the thought process there? Just working your way up there, all that chaos happening right on the last lap.
Yeah, it was I feel like when it comes to super speedway racing, I either wreck everyone or I do a really nice job at avoiding the people who are going to wreck. I make pretty, not necessarily aggressive, but counterintuitive moves that I don't think other people are going to make to try and avoid, the loss of momentum. And in those last 2 laps, there were a lot of blocks being thrown, so a lot of times the bottom line got stacked up, so I tried my best to stay upwards. And by the end, when you get to the part where it kind of fans out to 5 lanes, you can, if you're in the middle, you always got room up, but if you're on the bottom, you have nowhere to go, so you get trapped if the momentum stacks up. So when I was going through the backstretch for the last time, I'm like, I really got to get to the middle, make sure I have somewhere to make a move so I can try and make something happen here coming to the start-finish stripe. It's really disappointing. Toby Christie, he's been supporting my racing career for a long time, and obviously I was running his paint scheme again, and I really wanted to bring home that trophy for him, but just a little short.
All right, well, you mentioned Toby Christie. Who else do you have to thank? Who gets it done behind your car?
Yeah, well, obviously, Braden Laster was in there with a couple of his guys too. That was a lot of fun. Josh Rayum for even getting me into racing in the first place. The whole reason I have iRacing is Josh Rayum. Got to thank all my other sponsors. Domino's Pizza, CompCart. Yeah, and obviously, of course, Toby Christie. That was exciting. I'm still sweating a little bit. That was really just anxiety boosted, man.
Absolutely. Well, congrats on the second place finish. Unfortunately, just shy of that race win, but it was fun to watch you out there.
Thanks, man. We'll get them next year.
And that was our runner-up tonight, Stephen Malozzi. And Dawson, we head to you, who has probably the most excited man around.
Indeed, I do. He's going to have to take that car to the trash heap after this race, but it doesn't matter because he walks home with the hardware. Alex Kerfin to victory lane. Congrats, first of all.
Let's go, baby.
Alrighty, that late caution there with the lapper puts you on your side up in the wall. Having to recover from that, what was your thought process getting back into things and trying to go for it after that?
Yeah, at that point there, was probably around 20 laps-ish left in the race, and I just so happened to be right behind Alonso. By the way, props to him. Great teamwork all race. That was such a fun race, but planted right behind him on that restart, and our plan was to push right back up to the front as fast as we can so we can get into a good position for the end. And just unfortunately, as we got back up there, another wreck happened, and I was able to escape out of it pretty unscathed, but unfortunately he got spun off my nose, and pretty bummed about that. But all around, great race. I loved everyone I raced with today. That was some great racing.
Alrighty, and yeah, that run there at the end, Smithley and Hacker, they really started to pull away at the end. At what point did you maybe think, maybe I've got a shot to win this?
That thought didn't enter my head at all. To be honest, I thought I was just going to be riding there until the end, maybe pick up a few more positions from off of 3 and 4 at the end on the guys on the outside, but the seas parted in front of me, and man, oh man, I didn't think I was going to win it like that. Sideways, trashed into the wall, and I didn't even have enough RPMs to do donuts at the end.
Alrighty, well, we see you a lot here on JCTV. Of course, you run the In the Pits News Truck Series on Saturday nights. Anybody want to plug in? Shout out sponsor here, taking home the hardware for the Redditors versus Racers, Child Havens 250.
Yeah, I always want to thank my friends and family for watching. It's great that they like watching this. Want to thank Cameron Alonso for running the ITPN Truck Series, great league. I feel like a lot of this race's success stemmed off of the great racers that come from that league. And I want to thank Kerfans Market for the awesome car they provided me today. I'd like to thank, there's just so many people to thank. This was just such a great race. And thank you guys for a great broadcast.
Alrighty, well, Alex Kerfin, he gets to celebrate winning the inaugural Redditors versus Racers. Congrats once again, and we hope to see you tomorrow night.
Thank you.
With that, that was your top 3 finishers of the night. Josh, Adam, a hectic, chaotic race, and ultimately at the end it comes down to just a fraction of an inch as to who was determined the winner.
Yeah, I'm still in disbelief from that, Dawson. That was just incredible. Incredible job by everybody here, everybody behind the scenes, all the racers. A lot of people put a lot of work into this, and the racing was an absolute great show tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We had it all tonight that you would want for Talladega. We had all the crashes, we had the finish, we had the overtime. It was everything we all expected and anticipated, and a little bit more. And what a great result, and what a great way everything all culminated, and what a great night overall for JCTV, for Alex Kerfin, for everyone at Children's Haven, and what a fun broadcast all around, and fun show to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely indeed. And a lot of people, this is your first experience at JCTV, you're going to want to stick around. There's a lot more action where that came from. We've got the In the Pits News Truck Series heading to Darlington Raceway tomorrow night. Next Tuesday is the championship race for the Slide Job Racing League. You'll catch that Tuesday night here on JCTV. And plenty of other racing, plenty of other leagues. And it's been a lot of fun. And, all of this getting put together is a big thank you to Andrew Elias. He was the one that got this all together and got this race put up as a whole, got the drivers together, the team members together, and was really the workhorse for this. So I really want to say thank you to Andrew first and foremost. All these graphics you see, that ticker on the bottom of the screen telling you who finished where, that's the work of Cameron Caldwell. A big shout out to Cam for everything he does for us. He is what makes JCTV run like JCTV. Thank you to Josh Coppernoll and Adam Kuhn for always being great commentators in the booth with me. Thank you to everybody that has tuned into this race. It has truly been phenomenal. And for everybody that will continue to tune in, we hope to see you back. And we are very thankful that you decided to watch tonight's broadcast. But that will do it for us here. As we saw a hectic, chaotic, crazy finish, all that led up to an overtime. And in that overtime, we saw Alex Kerfin take the checkered flag, stealing one for the Redditors away from the racers. Alex Kerfin will take home the hardware. Thank you for tuning in. We hope to see you tomorrow night for the In the Pits News Truck Series, or maybe Tuesday night for the Slide Job Racing League. Whatever you come back to, we hope to see you soon. For Josh Coppernoll, Gage, and Adam Kuhn, this is Dawson Allen signing off from JCTV, saying thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your night.